Hey everyone, how you doing? It's time for the Ruby Girl Talk with your favorite Ruby Girl, Dr. K, also known as Coach K. We're in the house at 8:30 today. So I am so excited as always because tonight we're gonna get our talk on and we're gonna learn how to take the limits off to live a limitless life. And so one thing about putting limits on, limits comes from you and it can come from the people around you, but it's ultimately up to you the limitations that you place around your life. God has given us no limitation whatsoever. The sky is not only the limit, there is no limit when it comes to Christ. But a lot of times, because of what people tell us, their opinions, or maybe their experiences with stuff, then we kind of try to limit ourselves and stay in our little comfort zone and be happy and be safe. But guess what? Being happy and safe does not mean being productive. So I can't y'all hear what these ladies have to say. This is our third time talking about taking the limits off. So by this time, we done gave you 3 hard punches in the stomach. So we should have punched out procrastination. We should have punched out insecurity, and we definitely should have out your lack of faith. So right now, we coming power punch that's going to empower you tonight. So, ladies, before we get started, I want you to go on my page, find this video, and then share it on your page. Now, if you need me to share it for you, I have a fee of $1,000. I've taken some and I'll share it for you. But anyway, I am Dr. K, also known as your favorite Ruby Girl. You can always connect with me at rubygirl.net. So Ruby Girl comes from Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman for her price is far above the price of a ruby. So ladies, this is for you. Makes you rare, virtuous, and valuable. And so Ruby Girl is a platform that is movement to restore the value of women. We are so valuable. And somewhere along these years and being mistreated and being put down, that we started even to lose our own self-worth. But we're restoring that. I take it here, so bringing and I'll share it for you. But anyway, I am Dr. K, also known as the far above the price of a ruby. So ladies, you too. Oh, we got an echo. Okay, who wants to go first? Miss Venetia or Miss Linda? Don't be scared.
Introducing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am Linda Hunt and known as the Anthology Doctor. And that's what I do. That's meaning that I have women that I coach in writing their stories. And it's a group of women that come together under one theme. And so I am so thankful tonight to be a part of the Ruby Girl Show with Ron Dodd. And so you'll hear more about my story and about who I am and about what I do and about my upcoming event that myself and my partner, who is also on here, that we are doing this coming week. So you'll hear more about that. And that's who I am.
Right. Look at that introduction. As you talked about your event, I was like, let me get this flyer pulled up because I know you definitely want people to see your flyer as we go, on during the show. Because we definitely want people to get to your event. We've been talking about it ever since April.
Yes.
I'm gonna be there, y'all. So I can't wait because when I tell you that Linda and Venetia are women of business, you definitely want to connect with them. So Miss Ben, oh my God, got tongue tied there for a minute. Miss Venetia.
Hello, my name is Venetia Lyons, and I am an entrepreneur, but I'm also a business coach. Been in business ever since I was 13, really, had my own little snack tray outside the house. And then I married a man who was into entrepreneurship, and we had several businesses, raised my children to be entrepreneurs. So now I coach, but I'm also a author, a writer, and I say entrepreneur extraordinaire because I have several ventures that I am working with other women. I'm also executive director of a nonprofit, Women in Touch. We work with women of domestic violence and homelessness. And I am excited that this Saturday we get an opportunity to bring women together and to inspire them, but also to be inspired and connect with other women who may be established entrepreneurs, but also those who have an ideal and a dream. And we want to help them to connect the dots. And that's what we're talking about today, connecting the dots and taking off the limits. So tonight is going to be fire. And I'm excited about it.
Woo, it's gonna be hot tonight. What they say, hot topics. We got
Yes,
hot topics.
hot topic.
Tonight
Yes,
we setting the Zoom room on fire. So if you know
yes,
any firemen, you better tell them to get ready. Get
that's right.
ready.
Ready,
Be on
All
ready.
right.
standby.
Yes. Thank you, ladies, for that wonderful introduction. So, and let's get started. In what ways can we upgrade our thinking to expand our capacity to receive more? We'll start with Miss Venetia on this question.
Okay, you know what? When I was presented that question, the first thing that came to me was the scripture, "As a man thinketh, so is he." So to really shift into a mindset of believing what you can do to achieve your dreams and to build your capacity is to go into prayer, I believe, and seek who are you? What is your purpose? What is God's will for your life? And to begin to take off. We're taking off the limits, but taking off the things that people have said who you are, a false identity, but really getting to know who you are. What is your why when we talk about not just business, but what is your life and your why in everyday life? Why do you do the things you do? Sometimes we've been handed down false narratives that we continue to live in every day, even if it's not comfortable, even if it's not productive, but taking the time to step away and remove some things that we can expand our capacity to say, where are we going? What do we want to do? And also, what is your passion? What do you enjoy doing? What comes easy? And so, building your capacity and expanding, you have to remove some things and shift your mindset. So for me, when I think about that, to expand your mindset, as a man thinketh, what are you thinking about daily? Not just about what others are saying about you, but what are you thinking about yourself? What life have you created in your own mind that you live in out daily? What are you doing? So I think it comes with taking a time to be alone, being quiet, and being honest. I love to journal. So taking some time to write in your journal, some things, some thoughts, even going back through the years, if you have journals, and look at some of the things that you wrote about and see if they're still true. See if they just a false narrative. They just a lie. It's just a deception that you're living in. So getting to know who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, what is your purpose, what is your assignment, and what is your passion. It starts with you. That's what I believe.
Oh, that was a great answer. Great answer. And you know what I was thinking about as you were talking? A
Mhm.
lot of times we're so focused on who we are now instead of focusing on who we want to become. Because
Oh,
if you still focus on who you are now, you will always be that person. Like they say, your thoughts, what you're thinking, it creates your environment, it creates
yes.
your world, the opportunities you go out there. But if you're thinking forward, most people that are successful, they think forward. They think about
Yes.
what I want to be. Like if you want to be a doctor, then you go to the right schools, you get the right
Mm.
you get the right training, everything like that to become a doctor. But if you keep saying, well, I'm just a regular person, you would never do those things. So Miss Linda, right quick, you want to weigh in on that question too?
Yeah, taking off the limits is not just a statement, it's a frame of mind. It's really about how you think about you. We are 5 years out of COVID, and we've taken the mask off of our faces, but we haven't taken them off of our minds. We haven't taken them off of our dreams. We haven't always taken them off of our goals. So we're still masked in some areas, in some situations, because we haven't taken the time to take the mask off of some of those things. So we're
Mm.
walking around with our faces uncovered, but yet we still have covered up a lot of things, our dreams, our goals, our things that we want to do. And we just limit ourselves because of the way we think, and the way we talk, self-talk, to ourselves about it. And
Yeah.
I was thinking about self-limiting beliefs is like you look in the mirror and you see yourself, but beyond what you see is more to you than that beautiful face that's staring back at you. So what you see is a physical representation of who you are, but then the mental and the emotional representation a lot of times is not there. We still, self-talk. A lot of times the self-limiting beliefs and things that we say about ourselves and how we
Mhm.
think about ourselves, and it becomes such a habit you don't even know. It has become
Yeah.
ingrained in you that some of the things that you say before you even open your mouth, you've already defeated yourself because of the way you think. And so, like Venetia said, as a man thinketh, so is he. But the thing of it is that I think we have to think of what is my eternal purpose. The Bible says that we fix our eyes on things what is seen, but on what is unseen is temporary. Okay, we fix our eyes, and let me say that again. We fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary. So what we are seeing is a temporary reflection of who we are, because like you said, there's more to us. As long as we're in the earth, we should be producing. We get to a certain point and we stop, but what is my eternal purpose? What has God told me that I am here for? So you have to know your purpose. And as you are every day evolving, as you are every day living, as you are every day walking, you are living out that eternal purpose. And you don't do it all at once. It's just like you're unraveling a gift, and you take the paper off, you take the ribbons off, you take all of the things out until you get to that gift. So we are daily, or should be daily, unraveling who we are every day, and getting to that gift, that eternal purpose of what God has called us in the earth. And so we have to know who that is. And how do we do that? We have to get in the face of God, because he said all gift, every good and perfect thing comes from him. So we
Mhm.
have to we have to have a relationship with him and the Holy Spirit to really know who we are.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
my, take on what, taking off the limits is. Take those masks off of your dreams, off of the way you talk. Take them off your
That's
mouth.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we still have to uncover and unwrap
Yes.
as we go through life. So here's our second
Yes.
question. What does true collaboration among women in business look like beyond networking? And this is a great question because you go out, you meet women, you meet people. I get numbers all the time,
Yeah.
and we just never call, we never connect, we never collaborate. So this is the $1 million question. We'll start with Miss Linda.
So collaboration is very important because none of us have it all. There's always some pieces that I'm missing that you might have. And you have to be a sociable person. You have to be willing to go and meet people, put yourself in circles, maybe some things that you've never done before, and you can't be afraid of, just because I don't know Chat GPT or I don't know about AI. Get around people that can take you to that next level instead of just always being in that circle that you're familiar with, and get around people that can take you to another level and introduce you to other people, because that's what collaboration is all about. And I know you had, I don't know whether this is something you want me to answer right now, but we talked about the ecosystem, and you
Oh,
asked
that's
me,
next.
okay, so we'll talk about that and what
Hmm.
that is all about as well. But
Mhm.
yes, but you have to collaborate with other people outside of your circle, and don't be afraid of doing that.
And you got to have discernment when you collaborate with people because some people can be sent to sabotage or they just have a spirit of sabotage on them. It operates in their life. It's not intentionally, but it's just a spirit that no matter what they do, it seems like stuff just don't work out or this or whatever. So you have to have a discernment, and you have to hear God when he tell you to collaborate with somebody, especially when it comes to your business and your brand. I always say your brand is your baby. So just like you wouldn't give your baby to anybody, you can't just give your brand to anybody. Collaboration is great because like me, the business women I have around me, they can tell me, "Kay, that don't work. You need to do this, or this don't look right." It is very good to have a tribe with the right vibe that surrounds you. So, Miss Venetia, gonna weigh in right quick.
Yes, I live my life and have always lived on collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
And because I guess this is something that God has instilled in me, even as a young woman, because I understand we don't have it all. And I take that principle from right out of the Bible. Specifically, Jesus was God. He could have did everything by himself, everything. But he took on the disciples, and the principle is everybody has a part to play. And so whatever I have ever done, I had collaborated, be it with my own husband, my children, even my grandchildren now, from opening a business, it was always a collaboration because I understand that everyone has a gift, everyone has a talent, everyone has a value to add. And if I can recognize that, and like you said too, Doctor, you do have to have discernment. And God has always tapped me in the midst of it and told me, okay, you can work with them on this, but this you can't touch it like the baby. You don't let everybody touch particular, this baby is an infant. You don't, everybody's not touching it, but certain things. But for me, collaborations is my foundation when it comes to just life, period. So I believe in it, and I thank God for in this season that he's even opening up an understanding, a deeper understanding, even a blueprint for this season, for such a time as this, and to broaden it and to be clear on what it is and to teach it and to release it to other women and other men. Because I collaborate with my sons too. They are in business. And like I said, it is my cornerstone, it is my life. Collaborate. I couldn't do anything I don't without God using me to collaborate in partnership with others.
Like collaboration is basically connection.
Yes,
It's basically
Exactly.
connecting with the right person, and
yes,
y'all have a like vision, like-minded to have the same results. And like you said, that's just been your life, that's just been who you are. Like me, I'm a people connector. I
yeah.
connect, like I meet you and say I meet Linda, the next thing you know, you and Linda have connected through me.
Mm-hmm.
Like always
Mm-hmm.
is that
Mm-hmm.
connects other
Yep.
people to each other. But when I go out networking, I am looking to connect with women, to find women that okay, now we can start doing this together and everything like that. But it's always, and I talked to you about Linda, it's always a lot of people don't know how to get past that networking. Like, yeah, I got your number, but how do you pick up the phone and connect with them? How do you get them in your world and you get into
Yes.
theirs? Who wants to answer that question?
Well, that's
Okay.
really, I mean, that's really what an ecosystem is. That's
Hmm.
that's really what it is. It's just a new word that they're using, a 20th century word.
Okay.
It's all about collaboration. And
Okay.
it's all about you and I doing business with each other as women. Okay, if you're in a and it can be women and men, it just depends on your circle and who you trust and who you want to do business with. But it's also not only me doing business with you, but it's also me doing business with some of the people that you have done business with. So we can trust each other to say, hey, I feel good about you being able to do business with some of the people that know me and refer me because you have done business with me. Okay. And so we are doing because, the other cultures, like the Jewish people and all of the Arabs, all of the Latinos, all of the other ones, that's what they do. The Mexicans, they live in a certain area, the Arabs live in a certain area, and just like they said, our money doesn't stay in our culture, but one time it turns over and it's gone because they learned the value of that when they were bringing people over here, before it got to be where it is right now, bringing people, from other countries, they would live in one house. And until that one person was able to, they work in their business. And then when he got on his feet, they would go and they start their business. And so I don't think we've learned that because of the fact of where we came from and
Mhm.
the disconnect and the mistrust of because of our beginning. And I think and because of that, a lot of times I think that keeps us from really being able to collaborate and create that kind of, because we don't always trust one another for some reason or another. We don't. But that was something that was a learned, I think, behavior way back from slavery.
Yes,
So how
yes,
do we
Yes,
create that
yes,
financial ecosystem where people intentionally buy each other products and
right.
services? And I get what you said. It was a time where we were our own community. We used to
Right.
yes,
be, what was it
Yes.
yes.
called,
Yes.
Black
The
Bottom?
Black Wall Street,
Yeah.
Greenwood. Yes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we used to have our own communities, our own businesses. But I think what happened was we started looking at the fact that we couldn't go outside of our community and
Yes,
spend our money, not realizing that
Hmm.
that was the key to our success. If we had
yes,
just kept our money in our communities, we
Right.
could have built them up, because there was lawyers and doctors living next door to bakers and to waitresses, and it was people that was struggling, it was
Shoe
people that
shine,
was wealthy.
shoe shine businesses and all
Yes,
kind of things. Yeah.
yes, but
Yeah.
now everything's so segregated. The people that have money live here, and the people that don't have money, they live here all together. So if I don't have money, the only person I see that's doing some neighborhood is somebody that's selling drugs. To me, that's
mhm.
the person I want to be, because they're making money. I don't see the doctor driving up in expensive Rolls Royce and everything. And that's why we have to expose ourselves and go out to the neighborhoods and that have already, because I was saying, I hear people say, well, I should be able to drive whatever I want. That's true, but you
Mhm.
cannot drive a Mercedes with $5,000 rims and park it in your driveway in the hood. You can do it if you want to, but how long you think
Might
that
not be there when you get up.
it might
Right.
not be there by the time you get in the house, but if you live in a neighborhood where everybody got money, that's
Right.
nothing to them. They're like,
That's
oh, your
true.
car looks nice. And that's why I think we have to understand, as a culture. We started thinking like, well, we're not allowed to spend our money with this culture, and we thought it was a bonus. I remember
Yes.
one video where the guy was like, they didn't allow us in that diner, and when we finally got in there and ate the food was nasty. So I think we fought for something that we really shouldn't have fought for. We
True.
had the money in our community to have power, but I think we as a culture really don't understand the power of money.
Yes.
It's not
The
about,
dollar. That's
right.
right.
When we get money, we spend it on things, not understanding that money is power. And I think other cultures have got it. Keeping their money, saving their money gives them power, not looking
Investing
like
your
they
money.
got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
we're gonna take a 60-second break, and then we're gonna come back with part two of the show. Part two, but this is a good conversation. And did we finish talking about the financial ecosystem, giving them everything they needed?
We can go on and on and on with that, though. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because they need to know. All right, so we're gonna take a 1 minute break. And so Venetia and Linda, if you want to split them 30 seconds and
Mhm.
just give us a short talk each, I'll go on social media and see what they've been saying.
Okay, go, Linda.
Okay. I just really want to say to the women, and I'm hoping that even more women, I know we don't have the biggest space that we would like this time, but we want you to really consider coming. We are going to have some fantastic women that are going to be there, that is going to give you information that's going to change your life. And if I say this all the time, if it is to be, it is up to me. It's up to you. You have to reach out. If you want change, then you have to make change by being available to things that are being offered to you. $50 for all of this that you're getting for people that will be there, that will talk about grants and how you can get money and where the money is, and even people that have churches. This is something that even the woman that will be there, Aletta Cardwell, she is a doctor in this area. And and that her main focus is for churches and teaching the churches how to get their paperwork together, and not only that, what they might need in terms of having an even greater impact in the area of grants and where they can get that information and how she can help you get that information. So I'm asking even pastors, send some of your representatives there to come to the event, which will be this coming Saturday from 10 to 3. And if you want to know, because we don't know, DEI might get around to even the churches in some way, form, or fashion. So you want to be prepared in the event that some of that money is being snatched away and you don't know how or why or what to do. You want to be able to be prepared, and that's what she's going to do for you. So we want you definitely to tap in to that if you want to and be a part of it this coming Saturday.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. We have um we got out there watching. We got Gloria out there watching. We got other people out there watching too. We got Tracy and a few more out there watching. I want to say thank you for tuning in. We have one comment. Blessing and shalom to you all tonight. That's from Gloria. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Sometimes people be watching and they be so into it. I do this too, that I
me
don't have
too.
time to comment because I'm like, that means I gotta type it, take my focus off and everything. But we want to thank everybody that's out there watching. If you have not shared it, please share this video because we're going into part 2. So thank you, ladies. So we started off talking about how to expand your mind and collaboration, how to create a financial ecosystem, which is really needed during this time. But we want to go and talk more about their event that's coming up this Saturday, taking the limits off. So I'm so excited. I'm going to be a part of it, not a participant, but someone that's going to receive. I get to sit down, I get to watch y'all get all this stuff together, and I get to receive. So I'm excited about it for the connections. Because I did say to myself this year, so I'm going to get out, I'm going to network more, I'm going to go different places, because I found out as we talked about collaboration, most people that got to their next level of success collaborated with somebody that was already there. Remember we was talking about you
Yes.
your next level of success, you can work as hard as you want to, but if you don't connect with that person that can take you to your next, you're just going to end up just working hard. Everybody will tell you, I got to my next because I connected with this person, or this person opened this door for me. It's always somebody you collaborate and connect with that take you to your next. So y'all got your event coming up this Saturday, taking the limits off. Tell us about your event.
Well, this event is bringing, like we said, established entrepreneurs together to give us information in certain fields. And one of the fields that, not just one, but we did talk about the grants for churches, but the nonprofit model, but also in real estate. We know that real estate is skyrocket. The prices are very high now. And we have a professional who owns our own real estate company who have made millions in real estate. And she's going to be telling us some insider secrets, how to enter into this profession, maybe even how to invest your money to get your first home, how to flip that home, how to bring other women. And that's one of the things when we talk about entrepreneur and we're talking about collaboration, it's groups of women coming together and men who maybe you don't have $50,000 to invest, but you can connect with other individuals who may have 5,000, 2,000. And those are kind of collaborations we're talking about. Don't count yourself out because you're looking at your bank account. But when we talk about collaboration and moving from networking to collaborating, it's really sitting down. And if you look at the major companies, I'm talking about the major corporations, they're not spending their own money. I remember the Oprah Winfrey said years ago, she said, I don't spend my own money. She's our partner and I collaborate. And one of the things and one of the ways that we want to do in our workshops and events is have individuals to shift their mindset, to really look at and be honest. And one of the things you have said, Karan, was how do you change? One of the things is looking at, we so quick to say, this is mine, this is me, this is, we individuals, yes. But this is a season, I believe, that is really time to look at corporate. And when I say corporate, I'm saying how corporations structured. A corporation is not one person. They hire hundreds of people to work with that one vision to create mega millions. And when we come together this Saturday, we're going to be talking about shifting from not just networking, getting a business card, but shifting your mind to understand, yes, you have your own business, you have your own brand, and you have autonomy, but begin to shift and be aware of what's happening in this season. Yo, a 20,000 is not going to make it when we talk about major money. You need a group of people coming together with a new mindset because that's what's happening across the country. And it's a term I learned over the last week. It's called peer-to-peer financing. We have seen it, and I'm gonna take you back, especially because we're African Americans. If you, and maybe you wasn't part of it, but you heard your parents talk about rent parties. Rent parties came together when someone needed money to pay their rent. Somebody gave $2, somebody gave $3, and they paid that rent. They came as a corporate and they made something happen. And that's the mindset that is really successful in this season. And we have to step away. Nobody is saying leave your brand. No one is saying someone's going to take your brand, but we're really looking at coming together and financing some things that's tangible that not only elevates you, but it elevates me. But we have to get out of the mindset. It's about me. It's about me. It's about me, my. That's over and that's dead. Because now I think they said a dozen of eggs is almost $12. So if you're talking about if a dozen of eggs is $12, we as entrepreneurs, we know what it takes to market our business. We know what it takes to buy inventory. But and so we have to begin to say, okay, I have a sister over here who is a printing company. Let me talk to her. Let's see how we can work together that I can get my branding material. She maybe can get some promotion from my skill set and let's make it happen. But if you just have two women, but just think if you had 20 or 30 women with that same mindset, then we in the race. Otherwise, me, my, that's really over and done with. It's time to really shift and look at something different. It's not going to take away, it's going to add.
Okay. Okay. All right, Miss Linda, weigh in.
Yeah,
We
well,
got
that
minutes
particular
left.
model, I
Mhm,
came up during the era when the rent parties was going on because
mhm,
I lived in the projects when I was a kid, and that was how when the steel mills. I'm from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, and so the steel mills, and that was our industry, like the car industry is here in Detroit. And when the mills would close down and the men were out of work, that's what they would do. They would have rent parties and they would fry chicken and fish and whoever was hosting the party, and they would all go to the rent party and they would play whatever it was. I don't know, it was blackjack or whether it was spades or whatever it was, but whatever it was, that was how they were able to sustain themselves during the time when the men were off from work. And so it was a community. That's one thing I can say. I came from a community living in a smaller town that I came from in Pittsburgh. I know what community is like. I know what, what it's like to have people that you depend on one another. Can I borrow a cup of sugar? Can we borrow an egg? Can we, whatever it takes for us to make this cake or whatever. And we would gladly be able to do it. Now, I know times have changed and you hardly know your neighbors.
Yeah.
People don't even speak to you hardly, even if they live next door to you or across the street. And so we really, and I know the African American community, because of us coming here and living under the conditions that we did, we have always been a family orientated people. We've always been like that. And I think we've gotten away from it. I think people have just, I make my money, you make yours, you get yours the best way you can, because I'm out of the hood now. So I'm not looking back, and so we got millionaires, even among our own community, billionaires, millionaires that can really, I mean, we need hospitals, we need grocery stores, we need some things that really is going to make an impact where we don't have to always go to somebody else. We can have we got doctors, we got nurses, we have teachers. It's just that we don't have the establishment. So and that's something that we had years ago. There were, and here in Detroit, there was a Black hospital here. And so there was grocery stores here. So we have to get back to our roots of who we are. I was listening to a program and they were talking about the ecosystem and just all of the things that's going on with this Target Fast. And we do want you all, for those of you that would be interested, go to targetfast.org. You will see all of the people that have different products that are there. You can find everything you need. I mean, from dog food to baby diapers, toilet paper, just everything. You'd be surprised how many Black businesses that have products that you can buy. You don't have to go to Target. You don't have to go to Walmart's. We can buy. And that's one of the things we have to do, is support each other on a larger scale. But this gentleman was talking about during this, they were having this it wasn't a conference, they were just really talking about the fast and just about us as a people and being organized now. And he was saying how we used to think that white people's ice was colder than ours. I don't know if you ever heard that statement.
Yes.
And he was saying that his father used to deliver the ice. Years ago we had what it was called ice boxes. Okay. And they would bring the ice to the communities. And, on certain days, the Iceman would come and bring this big block of ice. And he said, but they would go to the white communities first. Okay. So by the time they got around to, and the ice would last maybe 7 days for them because they got it first and it hadn't melted. Some of the ice hadn't melted. But by the time they got to the Black communities, then some of that ice had melted and it only lasts maybe 5.5 days. So that's where that ideal came from. And it's a mindset.
Yeah.
Things that they have is better. Their ice is colder. No, it's not. It's the same block of ice. It's just that we didn't get it first. We got it last. And because of that, it created a stigma in
Mm.
our minds, thinking that everything they had is better. And
Oh,
and the man that invented the refrigerator was Black.
yeah.
And so a lot of our things that we have that we really don't know about, things. And I was down in Washington, and I did get a chance to go to the museum down there, the African American Museum. And you would be surprised how many things that we have invented and don't even know about. Never was taught us. But it was a Black man that invented the refrigerator. And so, no, our ice is not any less than their ice. We have very intelligent people. We have very intelligent women, and we can do whatever we set our minds to do. We just have to believe in ourselves. We just have to know it. So,
Thank you, Miss Linda. Thank you. So during this
Yeah.
conference, she's going to help y'all with that mindset shift of thinking other cultures, even other women, other men, other business
Yeah.
owners, business or homes or whatever is better than yours. We always think other people have it better than we do. And that's why we have to count our own blessings instead of trying
Mm.
to count Venetia's blessing or Linda's blessing. And you don't know what she had to go through to get
Yeah.
it. But you're right, there's a lot of cultural thinking that has to be changed in order for us to obtain wealth. We just look at wealth as we want to experience wealth. We think wealth is spending a lot on shoes, spending a lot on things when that's not wealth. You can have $1 million in the bank and holes in your shoes. I know people that
Mhm.
are that's got money, and they walk around with, I had these pants about 15 years, I've had this shirt. They don't even shop. Their furniture is old. You wouldn't even
Yes,
know to look at them that they had that much money in the bank. But
Yeah.
we try to look rich, but we poor. And that's
yeah,
how we stay poor, trying to look like something that we're not. So now we need to, like Miss Linda say, change our mindset so that we can start to be rich in knowledge. It's the lack of
mm,
knowledge that we are
Yes.
pushing from, not reading financial books, not going to financial classes. It's a lot of things we don't know. We messing up on, not getting right, but we don't want to get educated on it. We just
yeah,
like, this is just our culture. This is just what we do. And I think about, what really I think about is the man that stole the $43 million from the riverfront. And if
Mm,
you look at all that he spent it on a lifestyle. You know,
yes,
that's it.
I, he didn't know how to invest that money. He didn't know how to take the 1 million, flip it, put it back. Nobody would ever know. And so
yeah,
he knew how to look rich. He didn't know how to be rich. And for you to
Right.
have stolen
that's
money,
good.
Right.
still was in debt, you still didn't have anything, there's an issue that we don't know how to manage our money, period. But this is why you need to be in the room, Sarah. This is exactly why you need to be in the room.
Yes,
That in order to get well, you got to change your mindset. In order to
yes,
get well, you got to have the right mindset and the right knowledge needed. So these women have packed into this room on this Saturday, women that's going to be able to help you know more about money and to get money. Because a lot of times I found out other cultures know about more resources than we do. That's
yeah,
how they have two homes and we be struggling just to pay for one.
Yeah.
They know how to work the system. You don't hear too much of us having two homes, a summer home and a winter home. I got a summer home and a winter home. It's at one address and it's a fall. But they have like a up north house, and then they have one, well, in Michigan, and then they have one that's here, like maybe in Detroit or whatever, like that. But that's okay. After Saturday, we're gonna learn the resource, we're gonna get the resources, and we're gonna be serious about this thing. So this is our last question. And just want one of y'all to answer, and then we're gonna do a 2-minute closeout. We got like 3 minutes. So, how will the women who attend learn how to expand their minds to collaborate and build a financial ecosystem with those they meet on that day?
mm.
Go ahead,
Who wants
Vanessa.
to take that
Okay.
question?
One of the things that we're going to do, we calling it's a fruit bowl exercise, but it's really a fruit bowl exercise, but it's also a process of how when the women leave from getting all this great information, interacting, and also telling what they do, showing their product, talking about their service. We're asking the women to connect and something like a accountability partner, but to connect on the level that we are going to engage further with maybe her product, her service, but still come to this is only the first one. We're going to have another workshop that's going to take us to a level of talking about funding, very detailed about how to get funding, looking at the big picture of your vision. What type of funding do you really need? How are you going to apply it? How are you going to use it? So that's one of the things when we talk about when you leave this workshop. This is just the first one, but we're asking you to connect with someone with this fruit bowl exercise. So we're looking forward to that, teaching women the process of going beyond just networking, but connecting and collaborating.
A- And
Oh,
I want to
great.
just add to that, the fruit bowl concept is really about you being, what kind of fruit do you see yourself as? When you look at a fruit bowl and you see the apples, the oranges, you see the strawberries, the cherries, and all it, and it looks so beautiful when it's all together. And that's what collaboration is. Even in that, they are collaborating to make
Yes.
up the fruit bowl. So your fruit might be something that it has a seed in it. Somebody else's might be a fruit that doesn't. Some fruit you might have to chew it and really, bite into it. So, but that doesn't make you, even though you're different, it doesn't mean that you are not valuable. So even in the fruit bowl, every fruit has a purpose and it has a different color and a different shape. We are not all alike, and thank God for it. And so that's what the fruit bowl concept is all about. I had that in one of my anthologies, and it was just something that God had given me to really show us how beautiful we really are when we all come together with our different shapes, our different tastes, our different colors. We're beautiful, colorful together. And just having a pear over here and an apple over here doesn't look good. It's not appetizing. But when you bring them all together and they collaborate together and your juices is flowing together, it makes up a beautiful centerpiece. It makes up something that is edible and really good to eat.
Amen. All right. So we're gonna do a 1 minute closeout. Um, who wants to close us out tonight? I'm gonna give me y'all choices tonight.
Oh, freedom. You can do
Freedom.
it.
I'm taking the limits off tonight. It's
Then you
Venetia.
can do
Okay. All right.
it.
So
Linda.
I just want to say to the women, we really want you to, we put a lot of thought into this. First of all, Venetia and I just did not throw this together. We have been meeting since the beginning of the year. We have been coming together, putting our thoughts together. We have been writing things down. We've been changing things. And some of the things that, we started out with, maybe we say, well, maybe we'll change that or maybe we'll tweak it. So we just want you to know that this is a well thought out plan that we have. The speakers that we have that will they'll all just kind of, just kind of blend together. We'll have Dr. Beverly Jordan and talking about the real estate and the state of real estate. And not only here in the country, because she's a global, her business is called Global Scope, yeah, Global Scope Real Estate. And so for her business, she also can do business out of the state and in other countries. Okay, but she has contacts. Then the other person, which is Josette Crumbly, will do funding. No, she'll do the what is she?
Yeah. Fix my money.
Yeah, fix my money. Okay. So you need to know about how to fix your money. You need to know about how to budget and all of those things. And so she'll talk a little bit about that, giving you some information. She's an author as well, and she'll give you some information on that. And then the last person that we had to make some adaptations, but you'll still get everything that we're talking about on that flyer. And Olita Codwell, she's going to come and she's going to talk about grants and she's going to show you how to get the money, and that's her business. She is a doctor, Dr. Olita Codwell, and that's what she does. She'll show you where to get the grants. She'll show you where the money is and the money for different things. So if you need to know about a certain business, she'll show you what kind of grants you need that will give you the money for that particular business. So if you've been talking about it, if you've been thinking about it, if you've been praying about it, it's time to get up and to do it. Okay? So we are asking you, this is the final opportunity that you will have because we are not accepting money at the door. So don't come with your $50 thinking because we have to prepare for you. And we are planning on having, some food and we're planning on having gifts. We're planning on doing different things. So you have to pay in advance. So if you're planning on coming, this is tomorrow night is going to be the absolute last night, which is
Yeah.
Wednesday, because we have to go and prepare for you. So we are asking you to come and don't wait to the last minute. When you see things like this and it really is something that you
Yeah.
think that applies to you, we're asking you to be, go ahead, pay your money. And if you can't, say, hey, listen, can I pay half now? We'll even
Right.
take that. Okay. So it's no excuse. All right. So we want to see you on this coming Saturday at the Java House there on Grand River and Lassa from 10 to 3.
Yeah.
10 to 3 or 10 to 2?
Well, it's actually 3. So we said 10 to
Okay.
2. We'll be kind of wrapping up from there, but it's actually
Yeah.
until 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I was sitting up here counting the hours like, whoo.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll, and we want, to give our presenters, we want to give them time for questions and answers too.
Yeah.
So if we do go past 2 o'clock, it'll be because of that, because they are the last ones. We want to give them time. Venetia and I will do what we do right up at the beginning. We'll have lunch and then we'll turn them loose and let them do what they do.
No, we got food too.
Yes,
Yeah.
food, and
Oh,
we got gift bags.
Yeah, we have
oh,
gift bags too.
Yeah,
oh.
so this might not be like you paid a whole lot of money for it, but we wanted to treat you nice because we
Very
Oh,
believe in
nice.
that. We don't
nice,
believe in just throwing things together.
nice. Thank you. I appreciate y'all doing all this for me. You know, so
That's all
y'all
the more
come on.
reason why you ought to
Y'all
come.
right, y'all come on out. They doing this for me. No,
Yes.
come on out. You got to think about
Right.
this, everyone. These two, when people put events on, they don't just put events on to make money because nine times out of 10, they don't make money. I can tell you, you really don't make a lot of money off of
That's right.
events unless you've been doing them for a while and you give not giving the people that much. When you give people this much
Yeah.
value, um you over giving them. They're paying $50, but they're really getting like 200 or $1,000 worth of
Yes.
information. And
Mhm.
so for them to do this, they're doing this because they want to see you be better. They want to see the ecosystem built. They want to see the collaboration happen. So you got to be there to support them. That's what we don't do. We wait last minute and we don't support. And we know
Mhm.
this is something that we need. And the very thing we need, we skip over. But if they were saying they was having a cabaret, I bet y'all be there. I bet y'all be there with y'all red cup. So
Doing
let's
the
support.
boots on the ground.
Yes.
The
All the
fans.
fans, the
Yeah.
everything, y'all just ready for it. But like I said, let's support something that's going to build up our community and create community
Yeah.
wealth, which we really do need. All right, ladies, thank you so much for being on the Ruby
Thank
Girls.
you.
Third time is the charm, ladies. So I
That's
have
it.
really enjoyed you. You are
Thank
always
you so much,
welcome to
K.
come back,
Ron.
have a chat with my
Thank you.
audience, and I hope that I was able to help y'all get your
Oh, you
event off
did.
the ground, and that I know it will be a success on Saturday. I'll tell you this: don't ever look at your numbers. Jesus only had 12, but look how he impacted the world and still impacting the world.
Right.
Well, really, he had 11 that was committed. And he impacted the world in such a great way just with him and those 11. So don't look, no, ever look at the numbers, anybody, when you're doing an event for God. God's going to send exactly how many people you need and who needs
Absolutely.
to be there. It
Yes.
might you might do an event for one person, but that one person might go out and tell 100 people or give you the connection you need. So always look at, I'm doing it for the glory of God and I want the
That's
people.
it.
Listen, I
That's
know
it.
y'all have a heart like that, but not everybody has a heart like that when they're doing events. So I'm trying to tell y'all how to get an event done that when it's for Christ, it's got to be from your heart. So, all right,
Right.
ladies, I wish you well. I wish you well so much. And all right, everybody that's out there, I'll be back next Tuesday at 8:30. I'm looking for a guest. Anybody want to be my guest? Put in the chat. I want to be a guest. I want to be a guest. So, all right, thank you, Miss
Well,
Venetia,
I
and
want to say to your, to the people that are listening, for
Yeah.
you, this woman of God she's a jewel. And I'm saying
you.
that in all sincerity. I mean, she gives from her heart. She's so creative. If you've ever seen any of those things she does, and I was just watching, I just happened to see the one you did today with me waving
Oh,
and all of that.
yeah.
She is so
Going
creative.
like this.
So, yeah, right.
That's
So I'm
dancing.
saying, ladies, please tap into her and what she is doing. I mean, thank God that she promotes everybody else, but I'm promoting her tonight because she deserves it. She is a jewel, and I mean, she is a blessing to the community of women. And so, and men, if you feel like you want to be a part of the Ruby Girl, hey, I'm sure she would allow you to come on and talk about whatever it is that God has for you. So I'm saying support her, reach out to her, go on her website. What's your website, Dr. K?
Oh, rubygirl.net.
Okay, rubygirl.net. Go on there, see some of her products and her books.
Yeah.
She's an author, all of that. So I want to promote her tonight because she's always, always promoting someone else and very
Yeah.
talks very little about herself. So I'm telling you, she got a wealth of knowledge up there in that head.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. And you can find both of their website in the posting of this video so that you can go on their website and also support them. Thank you, Linda, so much. I just believe if one of us win, we all win.
Yes.
I just believe
Man,
that when somebody's doing something for God, you're pushing God, not them. And the
yeah,
world needs so much of a God exposure and they don't get it. They get a lot of compromise. But when I see the real raw goodness of God happening, I'm behind that 100%. And I know what y'all doing is from the heart. And I
amen.
know the women are going to be blessed by it, totally blessed by it. I know I'm going to be blessed by it because there's some things I said that I know this conference is going to give me. And if
Mm,
not me, I'm going to take it and give and help somebody else with it. So,
Right.
thank you.
right.
Absolutely.
Everybody, we're signing off Facebook, but we
Thank
thank you
you.
for sharing. We thank you for caring. We thank you for listening. And as always, tune in next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night, y'all.
Good
Good night.
night.
Thank you.